Let's get back to budgeting. You may already set a budget to help you stay on track with your monthly expenses in your personal life. Many people do, because it allows them to feel prepared and in control of their finances. The same is true about project budgeting. Project budgeting is a little more complex than your personal budget. We'll help you understand and go a little deeper into what a project budget entails. A project budget is the estimated monetary resources needed to achieve the project's goals and objectives. When reviewing a project budget, you need to consider all of the potential and projected costs needed to complete the project. You break the budget down by milestones, which are important points within the project schedule that indicate progress and usually signifies the completion of a deliverable or phase of the project, and list activities and tasks alongside their associated costs. This ensures that you calculate the correct expenses for a particular period of time. This is considered a forecast. A forecast for your project budget is a cost estimate or a prediction over a period of time. You'll frequently review your project budget and it will evolve throughout the project lifecycle. These budgets usually contain items such as labor, operating costs, and costs associated with obtaining necessary materials like hardware, software, or equipment. The importance of a project budget focuses on more than just saving money. In project management, a budget is considered a deliverable. It is a success metric. The project budget is a tool to communicate exactly what is needed and when it is needed with stakeholders. The budget will have a direct effect on the company's financial viability. So, as you can probably tell by now, it's an integral part of project management. Budget creation takes place in the initiation phase of your project. Keep in mind that the budget will be adjusted as needed throughout the life cycle of the project. Depending on your role in the company, you won't always be the sole creator of the budget. Your ownership over things like budget and vendor relationship may vary, depending on factors such as size of the company or support team or the team organizational chart. Although you may not always manage the budget from start to finish, budget and milestones go hand in hand. So it's important for you to know the ins and outs of the budget throughout the project. As a project manager, you may be tasked with obtaining approvals for spending. Most companies have a signing or spending policy. This usually outlines who has the authority to commit resources or incur costs or other obligations on behalf of the company. This is important because you won't be able to continue with some of your deliverables or action items if you don't know how much certain activities will cost and whether you have the necessary funds available. It wouldn't make any sense to rent a property without checking on the rental costs first, right? That's especially true if the rental price is higher than your budget. The same thinking is applicable for your project budgeting. The budgeting process usually happens in conjunction with the scheduling process, because the steps of the scheduling process are highly dependent on the costs. The project manager will collaborate with people on the project to create their estimations. For the most part, after the cost estimating process has been completed, it's common for the project sponsor or another key stakeholder to review and approve estimation costs and, if necessary, adjust and reallocate funds for the project. This could mean that either the CEO or the COO are the ones giving the okay or the final sign-off. For example, in our Office Green project, the Director of Product has sign-off approval. As we mentioned before, the project manager will most likely need some kind of sign-off from the finance department. This may vary from company to company, so just make sure you're aware of your company's processes. Project budgeting is never a one-size-fits-all operation. As the project manager, you'll have to prioritize where you allocate funds within the project to ensure maximum output. Ultimately, most projects are created to improve workforce productivity, increase revenue, or attempt to save costs within an organization. Budgeting is one of the most important aspects of project management, and when you start, to stay on budget is one of the trickiest tasks. It's important not to go over budget and cost the company extra money. And it's equally important not to be under budget either, since that might affect the company's budget for the next year. When it comes to high-profile businesses, such as publicly traded companies like Google, or public sector organizations such as your local education department, they may have a requirement to report on their financial performance to shareholders or auditors. Going too far over or under budget will change the way the company budgets for the next year, potentially leaving you with less money to work with in the future. In other words, a project manager must show the requested amount of money was used in order to secure enough budget for future projects. For smaller businesses, there may be a tighter budget, in which case it's especially critical to be careful about spending too much money on a project than initially allocated. It's really helpful to your overall success as a project manager to understand budgeting. So in the next video, we're going to learn the specific ins and outs of what's included in a budget. See you soon.